Good afternoon, this is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding, here to discuss Title 26 U.S.C. 318, which is the constructive ownership of stock and how it may impact your reporting requirements. So, in order to understand indirect ownership, let's start with direct ownership, right? So, the direct ownership of stock is the concept of a person goes into their Vanguard account, they purchase 1,000 shares of stock using their own money under their own name. That's going to be what's considered direct ownership. That person purchased the stock and owns the stock under their own name. This is not the only type of ownership there is. There's also something called constructive ownership. With constructive ownership, a person may have indirect ownership of stock or other assets and be considered an owner of something that they may not even consider themselves to be an owner of. So this is very common with foreign corporations especially, which is something that we'll delve into here in a minute. They're also referred to as the Attribution Rules because the ownership of stock of one family member may be attributed to another person. Attribution can impact various different, it's not just individuals. It could include, family attribution like individuals, right? Trusts and estates and other businesses, corporations, sister corps, brother corps, parent, subsidiary. There's some very specific limitation rules to be aware of. But attribution gets you when you're not really ready. Most people don't really think about it because they don't own it directly. So why would they be subject to any tax in reporting? Where this comes into major importance is with foreign corporations. The reason for that is items such as the Form 5471, let's say, which is a U.S. International Information Reporting Form used to report ownership, interest in, control over foreign corporations. It's that indirect constructive ownership that may lead someone to have to file that may not have to file otherwise. For example, for some of the specific reporting requirements, it may be considered you have to be a controlled foreign corporation, and depending on the way the attribution rule is set up, someone who may not believe that they have any individual ownership that exceeds the CFC rules, plus 50% ownership of at least 10% shareholder, they may fall into that category unknowingly. The reason why it's such a big deal is because of the penalties. The Form 5471 penalties start at $10,000, and they have continuing, ongoing penalties, et cetera, et cetera. And the IRS has taken to automatically assessing those penalties, sometimes on a notice, CP15 notice. It's very common to receive the automatic assessed penalty for the Form 5471, as well as the Form 8865, 3520A as an Apple for foreign trusts. In general, the attribution rules are very complicated. So the purpose of this is just so that you know that if you're related to somebody and that person has ownership of certain stock, you may be deemed the owner for tax filing, tax reporting, and informational reporting purposes, which may mean you're out of compliance for prior years if that thought never arose in your mind, because why would it? Because, again, you don't own it direct. If you're out of compliance, don't worry about it. It's normally pretty simple to get back into compliance. There are various amnesty programs that are available. There's the voluntary disclosure program, the streamlined filing compliance procedures, which are broken down further into the streamlined domestic offshore procedures, streamlined foreign offshore procedures. There's delinquency and reasonable cause. We have lots of free information available on our main website, goldinglawyers.com. You can always contact us to schedule a reduced fee initial consultation if interested. Again, my name is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.